this energy of what may be happening to us from outside influences that have the power to rip away or take away a job or rip out finances or checks that are coming or whatever may be coming in that may be creating chaos, fear, and disturbance. Um, it is that in difficulties of that, which we recognize is not easy, it is going inside and realizing that the power of creation of your experience in reality is born from inside of you, and that it can never actually be taken from you because you can actually create anything. But you cannot create anything when you are, and we're not talking to you directly, you, but generally in fear of something outside of you. Today we're going to have a Q&A with the angel Raphael, which means you get to ask the angel Raphael a question. And if you're in our community, you have the opportunity to do that. If you'd like to learn how you can ask the angel Raphael a question for free and engage in these calls, you can join our mailing list, and then you get the Zoom link and you can ask. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kelly Kolodny. I've been channeling for 37 years, something crazy like that. When I channel, I close my eyes, my hands kind of move back and forth. I say hello, the angel Raphael comes in, and we're just going to get right to it. I do want to make an announcement for those of you who want to join the Weaving the Magic art class. Tomorrow night at midnight is the last time you have to register. So if you're not in our membership and you would like to register for the art class, it begins on Monday, the 7th. It runs for 3 weeks, and we are going to come together as a community to build the new earth. To create a grid across the planet together, to play in a creative and artistic way, to have fun, and to connect. And 3 people in the class are going to get a personalized piece of art from Debashre. Debashre is the artist of the Master Ascension Light Code Oracle deck and also an architect. And I want to share with you briefly what those pictures look like so you can see how amazing they are. I have to send a request to do that, so I'm doing that. And that's going to give you a chance to see what we're going to do. I think what we'll do is we'll do a spin. I'll put everybody's name in something. So here is just a brief look at some of the art that Debashre has done that we're going to tap into and make our own work. We're going to make our altars and land art and play with wands and magic and have fun. And then 3 people who are in the class are going to get a piece of personalized art. If you look here, I don't know if you can see, this is me here with like long white hair. And you see the white lion, which is my totem, and the angel Raphael. And so this is me embedded in the art and the symbols. Here, Debashre has embedded me here when I was to receive some physical healing. Here we have another person in our community embedded in the Lemurian vibration in the water. And then if you look over here, we have another beautiful image of energy and going. All right. And so when we're done, all of this is going to get anchored into the Mother Source creation grid. So starts Monday, 9 o'clock. Like I say, I just want to let you know because I'm closing registration tomorrow night at midnight. So this is your last chance to register. Okay. Let's see. All right, I guess we're good to go. I'm just going to start to channel. Make sure Casey will call on you and remember, or he'll tell you universal questions. These are not personal. And I think he has some stuff first. So. Mm. We are very delighted to be here and to attune to all of you and your energy and recognize that you are wanting to talk to us. And so, what is it?
Hi, Raphael. So I want to first open up and ask about an energetic update in regards to this month, April in 2025. I know a lot of people have studied this month. I know that April 8th is a special day. And so if you could just give us an update energetically on this month and how to best ground ourselves and to tune to the most helpful frequency, that would be appreciated.
Oh, oh, oh. It is at this particular year in linear time, in the way in which you label it as 2025, is quite a year. There is a lot of energy and acceleration, and you are moving at a very rapid pace. As you are coming to the close and or have closed what you think of as your month, which we think is quite funny that you talk about these things in terms of months and you've named them and so on, but we will play along because this is how you are still operating. But we want to remind you that this operational way of perception of time and months and days and weeks in itself is going to radically change and blow your mind in coming days, months, and weeks as there will be such an energetic shift on a vibrational level that time itself will be changing. The way that you see and perceive time, the way in which you operate within the calendar itself. But as you are attuning to this month of April and aligning with its vibration, you may have felt as though up until now, or even in this moment, that there has been a lot of heaviness and that intensity and in difficulty, and that there's been a lot going on, as if you've been through a storm of sorts. And through this, it has been a lot to integrate, and I want you to all know that it is not a permanent place in which you may find yourself in. It is a transitional place. And as you had gone through the equinox and this choice point, you squeezed through into a space that was perceived from our perspective like a womb space. And this is a space in which you will be contained in until the winter solstice toward the end of your calendar year. And in this space, there will be an acceleration of growth. And just like when there is a pregnancy in your dimension and the implantation of the energies coming in, that accelerates and a lot is happening. And when that is occurring, one can feel tired because you are growing so rapidly that the mother is tired and that the energy itself hasn't even fully come in, for the embryo is going through its process and its acceleration in its growth, but there isn't fully emerging yet. And that is what is occurring for you all at this time on an energetic level. You are moving and growing rapidly. Your entire biology is forming and changing, and a new life is being born inside of you. And so, from your perspective, this may create a need to cocoon, to isolate, to be quiet, to take some time in nature, to attune and reacquaint yourself deeply with the animal kingdom, the crystal kingdom, the elements, Mother Earth herself, and to prepare and have everything in place to begin to build and become acquainted with your intention to move forward in the direction of what it is that is unfolding, because it is moving very rapidly and as quickly as it feels at this time that things are moving fast, they are going to accelerate and move even faster than they already are. And in this process, in the human 3D experience, as you are witnessing the collective or your outside energies that might be penetrating into your energetic field, you will notice that there will be a continuous energy of chaos and upheaval and dismantling of old systems and energies, as we have spoken of. But simultaneously, there will be much revealing. Many things will be revealed, will be uncovered, will be discovered. Many innovative things will happen, and they will come in very rapidly, as if there will be one day that life was one way. And just like when the internet, and as an example, came online, everything in your paradigm and the way in which you perceive things shifted very radically in a short period of time. And the similar innovations, except more expansive, more mind-blowing, that cannot be perceived from the perspective of where you are, will come into all of your realities very quickly, and it will accelerate you on a whole new level of being. And your connection and communication with the galactic energies will also start to come in and flood onto your planet, and many will begin to have perception on deeper communication and connection with these frequencies. And so, our recommendation as you are going through this leap in consciousness, this quantum leap, that you maintain a sense of, as you are saying, groundedness by being in nature, centeredness, cocooning, and connecting to what it is that you are wanting to merge with. Simultaneously, you will also find a need, even though you may be cocooning in a sense and getting your energy cultivated and prepared for this acceleration in growth, you will start to make changes in those in which you are connecting with and those in which you are not, those who are nurturing you, those who are in alignment around the perception or the avenue or the direction in which you are wanting to move forward in. And there will be a lot of collaboration, meaning you will come together more and more and more as a collective in either local communities or extended global communities in order to pursue a similar coherent energy or goal toward a unification in the relationship to service or love. And there will be a lot of uprising happening around your planet. It will start perhaps as what might be perceived as protests or others coming to speak their voice or to share deeply in a passionate way their expression for themselves, for humanity, for their fellow human, for the need to put down arms, to come more into a sense of equality, to move away from polarization, from separation, to release fear, to move into love. All of these things which you are aware of as you are stepping into and aligning and merging with the new earth. But it will be something that you will feel a calling. And when that calling comes, you will move in a direction to align with that frequency in a collaborative way. And so you are preparing, in a sense, now your energetic field to be in the frequency in which you're wanting so that it can move into collaboration with others of that a similar vibration in order to propel forward energies of love.
Wow, so there's a lot coming up, Raphael. I'm very excited.
Yes. Well, I have been told that I talk a lot in your realm and that I do not know when to stop, and that my sentences are very long. I have been asked to not do that so much and to get to the point.
Who said that?
I, I have heard that before, and I am not very good at it. because I am not human and I can just bring a stream of consciousness, but I will work on that and I can grow too, you know. Uh-huh.
All right. Well, thank you, Raphael. And on that note, we're all evolving and growing. And so when we ask questions, I would like to follow in what Raphael's evolving in, and we keep everything as concise and clear as possible. Please make sure that your questions are universal. And I'm just going to state today that if sense that don't have a clear idea of where you're going with your sentence, or it's getting a little bit too personal, I love you, but I'm going to mute you today and move on to the next person. So just a warning. So please, let's keep it universal. Let's keep it concise, and let's be of service to the greater good. All right. Ra, go ahead. Can you unmute
Hello,
yourself?
hi Raphael.
Hello, 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 hello. Ow, ow, ow. What is it?
It's what you started out with. My question has been around a lot of people, others, including myself right now, are experiencing a lot of doubt on what to create. We're not feeling inspired, feeling really tired, restless, questioning our purpose. What are we to do right now? Depressions, ins and outs. Um, can we have guidance on releasing these doubts? And what do we do during this time of not feeling inspired?
Ah, you are in the first trimester of a gestation period. And if in that time one feels very tired, and you're kind of in a void space, you're working very, very hard, but you don't actually know because you're not actually with your mind doing it. It's an energetic work that is happening because you are upgrading your entire system and your biology, and you are creating, in a sense, a whole new human. And so, like when one is pregnant in this time, they can feel very tired, not really clear on what the baby is, or who it is, or if it's a boy or a girl. There's uncertainty. There can be worry. There can be doubt. Will it happen? Will everything be okay? What is next? And one can feel out of control, or isolated, or a need to sleep, or exhausted, or vomiting, many things. And so this period is natural for many of you who have moved through this choice point and have entered into this space to feel this way, because you're almost in a place of limbo. You're just between energies. And so we invite you to just soften into that, not to be so hard on yourself, not to feel you have to have the answer right now, or that you have to figure it out, because you are working very hard on an energetic level, that because of where you are in what we call the in between, you're not fully conscious of what's taking place. You are connecting, interacting, growing, accelerating, aligning your vibration, your biology, your being to an entire new energetic field, what you call often 5D, or the new earth. But much of that is happening not necessarily on a conscious level. Now, if you want to bring your awareness to the fact that that's happening, that's why you're all working, coming up to build the new earth together in the weaving of the magic in which you're doing the art together. You start to come into collaboration, into community, start to bring purpose and get the creativity flowing, start opening up your heart center, start opening up your throat and your third eye, start moving, connecting with the sound, the vibrations, the music, the color, and energies to start to flood in. So we encourage you to tap into your creativity in a playful, joyful way. Listen to music, be outside. And if you're not feeling inspired to do any of that and you just want to rest or to sleep, we encourage you to give in to that right now, because it's temporary, and you're supporting your larger self, your energetic self, your I am self, to do what is needed to begin to calibrate your energetic field to this new vibration in which you are adjusting to.
Oh, thank you so much. Been feeling that. Thank you.
No, you were welcome. I didn't do so good.
No, you did great.
That was a very long answer again.
That was perfect.
Uh,
It was a perfect answer, and I've really been feeling that. I took a nap in the middle of the day yesterday, so right on target. All right, Catherine, what do you got for us?
Hi, Angel, Raphael. Hi,
Hello,
Casey, Kelly,
hello,
everybody. Hello.
hello.
Yeah, so my question this afternoon, I've been curious for a while about this. I think you touched on it before, but when we prepare our pre-birth blueprints, do we include our beloved pets and do their souls incarnate with us to assist us on our mission, especially at this time? And then do they often reincarnate with us in new lifetimes? I was very curious to see if our pets play a big role in balancing out or acting as a buffer even to our body systems after an illness or even during this ascension process.
Yes. That is a short answer.
Yes.
Yes, it is, of course, that they are deeply interwoven and connected and part of your mohad or soul family and may arrive as a family member in your human experience. And when you are ill, sometimes they even decide to take on the illness and then they can pass in order to help you to transmute something on an energetic level that perhaps can't be transmuted by in human form. Other times they come to just bring a sense of presence and joy and playfulness and love, as many of them do. Other times they can come to be a bit annoying and to test your patience. And so they are very much a part of your blueprint, part of your contract, part of your connection prior to incarnation, part of your family, and they weave in and out and will often continuously come back just like other members of your soul family, incarnating sometimes as a pet and at other times in human form.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, guys. All right, Aisha.
Thank you. Hello, Angel Raphael.
Hello, hello.
I have a question about the spring season that we have in the Northern Hemisphere. Um, these days and in coming days as well, there are a lot of blooming trees and blooming plants, especially those just bloom once a year. And these flowers have so much beauty and they have so much scent, beautiful scents. So my question is, how can we tune in to their beauty and how can they help us raise our vibration, especially the scent of these flowers, uh, which is everywhere natural scent. So how can we use them to tune into higher vibrations and everything?
And they are deeply connected with what is called the resurrection flame. And they are supportive in resurrecting anything within you that would like to come back to life or would like to come back online or that you would like to accelerate or to bring in alignment in a growth process. And so they give off an energetic scent. They give off a frequency, a light, a beauty. You're deeply attracted to them. And when you can go outside and be with them every day and begin to build relationship with this energy and to journal or to attune to its progress of growth, it is a time of great growth. And so you might just see some little tiny green coming up through the soil. and then it might get a bit taller the next day and a little bit more and more. And it may then begin to eventually bloom into a beautiful flower. And if you have the patience and the will to go every single day for a period of time and align with its frequency, it emanates out what we call the resurrection flame. And you can begin to attune and to communicate with this vibration. And you can, now I wouldn't want to use the word harness because that doesn't sound good, but you can attune to it. And you can bring an intention of anything in which you would like to resurrect. Perhaps it's more vitality or more health or more flexibility or more love or more time or more abundance or whatever it may be with this. And as you come into alignment, you start to emanate that same vibration that is moving at a rapid pace in its acceleration process. And then when you place your intent within that energetic field, whatever it is that you are wanting to resurrect or to bring to life, it does so at a very rapid pace. So it is a gift that is magnificent. And of course, it is here every year. And yet most do not so much notice it. But it would require practically every day, almost every day, if one can, to sit and to perceive the acceleration of that growth in order to align with that resurrection flame.
Thank you. Great question. And I think that is such a beautiful practice to go out and pick a flower and just be with it through its journey. So, June, come on and ask your question. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. And hello, Raphael. Hello, you beautiful.
Hello.
I love it so much. My question is, do you know Master DeWall Call, the master of synthesis on the other side?
Oh, oh, oh. Well, I have lots of friends.
How bad?
I'm just kidding. This energy is not one in which I am aligning with, but perhaps you can ask what it is that you're wanting to attune to here.
Well, 5 years ago, I did a channeling with Natalie Glasson, who lives in the UK. And Master DeWall Call came through, Saint Germain came through, and Jesus came through. And this has been 5 years, maybe 6. And I was told, Master DeWall Call told me that he is a master of synthesis and that he synthesizes energy on the other side. And he told me that I was on the other side synthesizing energy, and that is what I'm supposed to do in this lifetime. And 6 years ago, it was just over my head and I couldn't deal with it, so I didn't until
June, can we
about a
move it?
year
Can we
ago.
move it straight to the question? Sorry to
And
interrupt.
so,
Just want to get.
and so my question is, I can't be the only one. There has to be others who need this question to know if in these times of change and growth and all that's going on, is this still relevant? Should I still be doing this practice that I was told to do?
Oh, oh, oh. Well, it is that you can attune to this energy if you are wanting. And it can support you in synthesizing and integrating energies and frequencies, but we're not really clear on what it is that you are wanting to do or to know or what your question is. Because if you are in attunement and in alignment with this, and if this is who it is that you are and what you are meant to do, then you will be doing it. You will be attuning to that. The questioning here, the wondering that we are looking at is another telling you something and how you should be or what it is that you should do For it is that paradigm in itself is what is deeply shifting and changing at this time. This outside energy coming in to tell one what to do or what not to do. And so all we can say to you is to go inside and to reclaim your own sovereignty and your own power and to attune to what you are wanting to align with. And if you are wanting to align with this frequency and work with the energy of synthesizing vibrations through these portals on another side to support the elevation and the shift in consciousness, and you attune to that, then that is your choice. But we are not here to advise as to what it is that you should or should not do. For perhaps it is that beginning part of your question that is actually the most relevant, that someone outside of you told you this. For we always encourage you to find the internal knowing of where it is that you are wanting to go.
Thank you, Raphael. Thank you, June. Jess, go ahead.
Hi.
Jess.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, thank you so much for having me and letting me ask my question. I'm so happy to see you guys. And it's really cool that you were talking about the first trimester and birthing because my question is about babies.
Yes. Ah, a very different baby than the one you had before.
Yeah.
Oh.
Curious about babies that are being born right now during this time and the harmonic convergence and everything. And if there's anything that we should know about these babies or if there are things that we can do to support them in their mission.
Oh, we are very delighted to attune to you and your energy and your frequency. There is not much to do because they are so accelerated and they will teach so much and they have so much to share. They will grow faster than they have grown before. They will learn faster than they have learned before. They will do faster than they have done before. They are filled with so much light, so much love. They have complete and full access to all other dimensions and the galactic beings. They will bring through and thread through memories prior to incarnation and birth. They will carry within the codes of their energetic being gifts that to date have not been accessible on the planet. They are your future. They are part of the galactic global community. They attune to the vibration of you, not just here on Earth, but they see you as a galactic family. And so they will have a very different way of perception. And the best thing that you can do for them is to unconditionally accept them, love them, and make sure not to perhaps judge if their gifts come through in ways that may appear unconventional at first, because hidden beneath them is so much beauty, so much light, so much divinity, so much purpose and their vibration when you hold them tight and love them, and your hearts touch, and your heart and the baby's heart beats. All of the codes and access to these higher dimensions and this unified field of this beauty and love permeate your heart, move through your energetic body, awaken your cells, turn on your DNA, and upgrade your biology. And so they are an extension of yourself, a part of who it is that you are, but they are operating at a very high level and deeply connected and attuned telepathically to all energies across the globe in which then you have access to. And the access is between the beating of your heart and the beating of her heart as you commune with one another and attune in this way. And so there, in terms of what to do, is to allow, to be open, to care for, to nurture, to support, to love, all of the things in which you're already doing. However, in addition to that, it is very important for these children to align, and this for you already occurs with music, with the frequency of color, to show them geometries. Many will draw very early on and will bring symbols inside their artwork or in their speech. They will be very communicative, talkative, and it won't always show up in terms of what you are receiving, but just know that these first 3 years are essential in cultivating this connection and maintaining a communication and an openness to other realms. And if imaginary people start to come into play, or energies that cannot be perceived from your perception, not to shut that down, which we know you would not, but for others to be aware of this, and to facilitate and to honor those processes and their way of connecting. And so it is through the beating of connecting within both heart centers that will accelerate. They are coming to bring gifts, and they are already anchored in the new earth. And so they are bringing in the energy and seeding it, and it is moving like a grid of light across your globe. And when they mature, they will be aligned with a galactic family, and you will not only be in a different place on your planet in terms of the fact that not only will you be connected to one another in a unified way, in which war will no longer be something spoken on your tongue, war will not be something that will be occurring any longer. Inequality, hierarchy, judgment, many of these things will have disappeared. You will have moved into a new state of being. And these beings are some of the ones that will be leading in that way and will be facilitating this. And many of you at that time will be quite elderly or will have passed, but they will be living in a very harmonious world. And we know that many are sometimes fearful of conceiving at this time because of such upheaval and distress and chaos and worry on your planet as you're going through this jaggedy, chaotic, transformational time as this cycle is coming to a close. But this is not a permanent place that you're all in right now. And it is that the future holds so much beauty, so much union, so much love as you become a collective galactic family again. And so trust in their decision to be here and in who they are, and simply allow them to flourish.
Thank you so much, Raphael. I love you.
Ah, you're welcome.
Thanks, Jess. Shalia.
Okay. Thank you for taking.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. My question is the Mandela effect seems to have caused some profound changes in human anatomy. All of them seem to be improvements. For example, kidneys used to be much lower, but are now tucked up under the edge of the rib cage, where they are safer from a potential kidney punch. And in the timeline where I grew up, there was no bone behind the eyeball, but there is now. I'm wondering if part of the ascension process into 5D will include anatomical changes that will make a plant-only diet healthy for humans. It isn't healthy now, long-term now, due to nutrient needs like B12 that you can't get from anywhere but animal food. What I'm really wondering is if there might start happening a separation between humans who choose to remain in a 3D world and have bodies that require animal food for complete nutrition, and those who ascend into a 5D world and have changes in anatomical structure that allow plant food to provide all the nutrients needed for good health. Thank you.
You will come to a point in which you will not need to consume food. But for now, you do. And the relationship and connection you have with your ecosystem and all living things, as long as it is done in an honoring way, in which there is sacredness around it, is where you are on an energetic level at this time. If you are asking if there will be changes in your anatomy as you move through this evolutionary process, yes, of course there will be great changes and there will be separation in a sense, although we in some ways hate to describe it this way, although in the linear fashion of your thinking, sometimes it is necessary because there will be an offshoot of different races in a sense of beings that will be aligning or attuning to specific vibrations, and because of that their different parts of their anatomy may become more accentuated to adapt to the vibration or the direction of that they have chosen to move in. And as an example, there will be many who will choose to interface with more of a mechanical way of being, or what you might call AI or chips in their body. And so their anatomy will change. And then there will be others whose third eyes will change and they will be energetically connecting in a different way. And then there will be those who will be attuning more to, like you are saying, the plant kingdom and aligning with that frequency, or becoming breatharians, or simply receiving the frequencies from the plasmic light of the codes, and their anatomy will change to align with that. And so there will be offshooting, different ways in which the biology will shift to adapt to different spheres of energetic experiences and realities. To judge whether one is greater, less than, or than another is not one in which we are wanting to do at this time. However, we encourage all of you to recognize your divinity, your innate wisdom, the vibration and the energy that today is allowing your heart to beat and your breath to take place, and to recognize the miraculous life force energy within you and align with that life force energy, knowing that its capacity to rapidly evolve as it is, and to shift your own anatomy to adjust to these higher vibrations and to accentuate your adaptation to a new world and the elements as they too change, and to trust in that process, we highly, let's say, encourage.
Thank you, Raphael. Thank you, Shalia. What a wonderful question. I'm sure a lot of people are interested in that. Val.
Hello, Raphael.
Hello.
Hello. As more and more people are waking up to what is going on with the global government and the control, etc., I'm finding many folk are naturally wallowing in conversations on the repercussions in their lives. And although I agree 100% about what is going on, and initially also did the same wallowing, I'm now realizing that in doing this, I am, or we are, feeding into it. And I try to bring hope, saying that I see it as the pond mud being stirred up before the chaos clears. But wondering if you have any suggestions on how I can react in those situations.
Oh, we're very delighted in the surfacing of this curiosity, because this energy that is quite chaotic and at times disruptive and often frightening for many of you, is beckoning your attention, and yet it feeds, accelerates itself, and grows when attention is given to it. And so we understand this complex situation that one might find themselves in. And so we encourage you to disengage from the communication and the rhetoric and the worry and the fear and the, oh my God, and it's so crazy. And can you believe that's happening? Energy. And to attune to the vibration of building and creating and aligning with your sovereignty, your divinity, and your power to collectively gather with those who perhaps you may be in agreement with to make decisions to start to flourish and to bring forth or to create something new together, in which you are not giving your power to an outside authority that perhaps is perceived as greater than you or in a hierarchical position, but the recognition that you, as a union of energy and collectively together inside of you, can begin to build and to form and to create the new earth, and that energy of the building of the new earth resides inside of you. And when you recognize your own divinity and that in which you are wanting to create already is residing there, and you merge with that frequency, then those other energies that are beckoning your attention begin to, in a sense, fall out of your reality, and you start to forge a pathway forward and together marching in a direction of collaboration, community, unity, and love for the better good of all, where you embrace those and everyone around you who is building towards something new, rather than focusing on what's happening to them. Because this energy of what may be happening to us from outside influences that have the power to rip away or take away a job, or rip out finances or checks that are coming, or whatever may be coming in that may be creating chaos, fear, and disturbance. Um, it is that in difficulties of that, which we recognize is not easy, it is going inside and realizing that the power of creation of your experience in reality is born from inside of you, and that it can never actually be taken from you, because you can actually create anything, but you cannot create anything when you are, and we're not talking to you directly, you, but generally, in fear of something outside of you. And so when one stops giving attention to all of that chaos and brings the energy back in and cultivates the vibration moving through the spinal cord and attuning to that inner wisdom and knowing and reclaiming one's sovereignty, they begin to wake up to the fact that they are the creator, including the creator of that outside of themselves, which was this chaos that came in to create enough energy and enough compression to push through that choice point, to push through and to evolve along the spiral into something new that is blossoming. And so, in those dialogues and connections and communication with your friends, be the one who chooses to redirect the conversation toward the creational process of what it is that you will be creating, each other, to within yourselves and together.
Hi, Raphael. Can you just give us a quick example of like a smooth transition so when someone brings that up, people don't feel invalidated, yet we successfully move into the redirect?
Oh, well, you can reiterate what they are saying, and so they feel heard, of course, and mirror that to them. And then say, I feel that way too, but I've chosen not to give that my power away to that energy. I have chosen something else, and this is where I'm putting my attention. Would you like to join me in that effort?
Great. Thank you, Raphael. Great question, Val. I know a lot of people are thinking about that. So, validate their experience, recognize that you felt that way too, and where you're now choosing to put your power. Awesome. Yasmin.
Hi, Raphael.
Hello.
So last week there was a lot of talk about the pyramids in Egypt, and this week there's a lot of talk about the Ark of the Covenant. Can you tell us if it's been found and what is the true significance of the Ark? What does it mean to us? Just give us some insight, please, and thank you.
Well, there's going to be a lot of revealing taking place. And we are so delighted about this. It's going to be as if you went into your grandmother's house and she had blankets all over the furniture because she didn't want to get it dirty. And somebody just came in and ripped it all off. And you thought you were going to see one thing underneath there, and you saw something completely different, and you were in absolute awe. And so that's what's happening. There is a ripping off of that in which has been hidden. And however, we want to caution you that the initial information that may come to light about the Ark of the Covenant, about what is underneath the pyramids, about many things that are going to be surfaced, you must step back for a bit and allow things to settle because there is uh, there's a time lapse of between what is being understood and discovered and known until you really get to the core of that. And there will be a lot of need for discernment around what is occurring. But what we can tell you is that the entire grid line system that had been dismantled around your planet that gives a connection through the stargates to interstellar communication and to your galactic family and to the recalibration of what is perceived as free energy and the capacity to cultivate connection and communication in this particular way is all turning back on. And as it turns on, it's like a rebooting. And in the rebooting system, as we were saying earlier, there will be discoveries and there will be uncoverings, revealings, innovations of things that will create complete paradigm shifts in your experience. If you thought that the development of the light bulb or electricity or the automobile or the internet or even AI changed or shifted one's perception of reality, you have no idea what's coming. And so this will be a complete shift in how everything has been perceived to date, and the potential around this will be the great equalizer on many levels. And so the energy and vibration of separation creates distance, and distance creates time. But the energy of equality begins to collapse distance and merge into union of time, into the 0 point, because it is merging with everything. And so these energies will start to completely change the perception of history, of linear thinking, of the time sequence and the evolution of humanity, of the timeline of how long you think you have all been here, of the ability to have enough for everyone, for the energy of scarcity to disappear, and for free energy and healing and sound and color and many more things to be reactivated, reinstalled, rebooted across your planet. And so we are very delighted and excited for all of you.
Thank you. That's a big wow. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Great stuff. Very exciting. Mina.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Glad to be here. I have a question. as a woman and as a resident of this world. In some countries, women or women, they don't have equal right to men. And at the same time, the country I'm coming, for last many decades, government suppressing women rights. And even though I am not there, but that is hurting me. So is there any light end of the tunnel for these people?
Yes, this is a quite a repression of deep heaviness, a blanket of pain and suffering that still has its grip around the planet in specific geographical locations. Often these locations are carrying what would you perceive as valuable resources, many of which are hidden, and there is a desire to continually repress these vibrations because if these were to come into clarity and come back into harmonization, the power structures in which you all have been accustomed to believing are true wouldn't be able to hold their grip. However, although there is a desire to even create more wars in coming months, to create more division, more suppression, take away rights of many, and create a sense of division and polarity and repression, the people will be rising all around the planet. And because you have moved into a new era, a new time, and it will take some years, perhaps 5 to 7, where there will be a lot of change. And there will be pushback, but eventually you will come out the other side, and much of what is been tolerated or put aside or others have looked the other way of for a long period of time will no longer stand. And because one will come into recognition of their own power, and they will not be giving their power away to outside sources because it's an illusion that those sources have power over you. But because it's so deeply ingrained and it seems impossible to free oneself from it, that until other parts around the globe free themselves from things that might be a bit easier to break the shackles from, that will be the impetus to break some of these harder, more embedded, denser frequencies. But this cycle of this repressive energy will come to a completion, and you will enter into what might be perceived as a golden age. And how long that takes in your linear sequence is dependent upon how many begin to choose love over fear.
Thank
Is
you.
there, sorry,
Thank you. You're
last,
doing
last.
Mate. Mate? Yeah. Are you there?
You hear me?
Awesome. Yeah.
Hello, hello,
Hello, thank you for choosing me. I'm just gonna ask you, you mentioned before that we are in the first trimester of gestation, and for us that we feel disconnected, how can we perceive that we're ascending or connected to our guides or even transitioning to the new earth?
We want to remind you the power of intention. It appears to be something quite simple, but often overlooked. And when you come into alignment and you ground your entire energetic body into the core of the earth, and then you intend to align with a guide that you choose to attune to, and you invite that energy to come in and flow through your heart center, it will merge with you. All gateways and veils are very thin, and so the energy is accessible and open. And as you attune to it, invite it, intend it, and know with faith and belief that it is so, it will be there. It will assist you. And then you might have to practice paying attention, listening, writing it down, following it, opening up to the magic, to the synchronicity, to the flow state of playfulness. But often one forgets of their own power, their capacity to attune to these beings, to attune to energies such as myself, to receive love, support, guidance. It is all there, but one must intend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. Is that all?
We'll have one more. We'll go with Joelle.
Hi, Raphael.
Hello, hello,
Hello.
hello. Oh.
I have a question about dreams. Like, can you talk a bit more about dreams? How can we tune in more to understand the messages behind dreams and whether all dreams have messages to us? Thank you.
Well, there are different layers of dreams, of course. And so it is very similar to what was just being asked. It is to intend. And so you can have the dreams in which you are processing your day. These are what we call basic or low level dreams in which you are working out that which you cannot bring into conscious mind. And then there are the dreams of creation. And then there are the dreams where you are working at a very deep level, on an etheric level, with many other energetic beings. And then there are the ones in which you are passing through other dimensions and realities, and you are having a full experience there, and you are gathering information, symbols, wisdom, and knowledge, and you are threading it back into the 3D, into your human experience, in which it becomes a map and a gateway into understanding. And so you can choose on what level you are wanting to operate in during sleep time, make that decision, align with that. And as you're going off to sleep, begin to attune to it, open the portal and the gateway to the space or energy or dimensions in which you want to visit. Perhaps it's the Akashic records or information from other lifetimes, or perhaps you want to visit with your star family or the Lyran Council of Light, or perhaps you want to attune to your ancestors, or perhaps you need to receive a symbol or information or studies or knowledge or wisdom in your current human experience. And then through your intention, you align and ask, and you shall receive. And then you simply begin to take in that information and create a map or a writing or art that symbolizes that in which you have received. And over a period of time, it creates a story, and it is very supportive in guiding you in this experience.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We do have one more question, Raphael, and that would cover all the
All right.
All right, let's do it. Randy.
What is it?
Hi, Raphael.
Hello, hello.
It is an honor to connect with you. I'm really nervous, so I have my question written down. I will try to be concise and yeah, okay. I often find that I'm a sliver away from my manifestations. Either someone in my vicinity will end up with something similar, or I just keep getting signs that it's here or I'm close. Yet it doesn't materialize. It's getting hard to keep the trust, especially when you give up so much in trust of what is to show up, and now feel like you're nearing the edge of the manifestation needing to show up, or life may take an unpleasant turn. So, how can we finally align? Because I'm just tired and I know everything is me or because of me, but I'm also starting to feel like I'm being played with or reading the signs wrong, or feel a trauma being triggered where even the universe is saying, hey, you're close to what you want, but not actually worthy. I hope this makes sense and assume I'm not the only one feeling this. And I guess the question in summary is, what does it even mean to be aligned? And what can we do to clear the supposed last bit of gunk in the way after years of putting in the work and again, trust?
Well, you have all the right words. but you're not fully vibrating with them because when you're just missing it by a sliver, it means that there's a sliver of doubt still residing within your energetic field. And this comes for you from a deep-seated energy of unworthiness, deeply embedded in a belief system that was carried through the lineage, through the line of your family, and came in, and it needs to.
Raphael, I muted you by accident. Raphael, I muted you by accident.
Ow, 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 ow. Now I know how to unmute. It is that you have all the right words and you are doing everything right. But there is a sliver, like you are saying, that doesn't really believe that you deserve it and is still testing almost the universe or doubting. And so it's always just out of reach. And there has been an embedded belief system in your ancestor lineage that no matter how hard I try, or even if I always do the right thing, I can't quite make it. I'm not quite going to get there. And we want you to follow the thread of that belief system. And we want you to find where it originated from, where you received it, where it was embedded, if it was sent to you or you heard it, and go back to that space and begin to step into that moment of that belief coming in, that energy permeating your field, that somehow you're not completely worthy. You're pretty worthy, but not really worthy enough. That you can do everything right, but still somehow it's not going to actually work out for me. It works out for everybody else around me, but not for me. And I'm good and I try really hard and I do everything right. And I almost get there, but then somehow just don't make it. And that is the vibration that needs to be found in the kernel, the essence in your energetic body. And so we want you to meditate and begin to spiral back through years of time until you reach where that is on your timeline, where it originated from. And we want you to relive and feel that experience with all of your senses. We want you to know what it smelled like in that moment, what you might have been tasting, how it felt in your body, who was there, who might have been saying that, where that impression came from, what that experience was. What did you see? What was happening in the room? Was there a sound? Could you hear something? Because that has been, for whatever reason, encoded in your field. And when you can amplify it and bring it alive and come into relationship with it and begin to communicate with it, you can start to shift it, unplug it from its core by loving it and accepting it, that that is what was told, that was true. But is that true now? And can you reprogram, can you rewrite your story of what is true? And so then I want you to dull down all of your senses as if that is beginning to dissolve and move back to source where it originated from. And then can you begin to rewrite your story? Can you create a new sentence, a new truth, a new belief, and feel it and accentuate it through your senses as if it is? And then can you anchor it? Can you root it in your experience and reiterate it until it resonates in every aspect of your body? And that is your question. How do I align? You align because it is a resonance that feels true. And so the resonance that feels true right now is the energy in which I've just said. And until that resonance shifts to a new truth, the repeat of what you've experienced will occur. When it occurs, that is validation that it will always occur, because then you can say, ah, you see, I did everything and now it still is out of reach. So it's a repetitive pattern, and it is not to be judged as negative in any way or that you did anything wrong. It is part of your evolutionary journey. It is that kernel to uproot, to love, to bring energy and light to and compassion to, and then to rewrite and to overcome and to step into full expanded worthiness and know, of course, anything that anyone can have, you can have too. Anything in which you are wanting to create, you can come into resonance with, because we want you to tell you from our perspective in the angelic realm that you are worthy of it, and you always have been.
Thank you, Raphael. I just want to hit one follow-up on that, which is, can you just leave us with the mindset? Like, you shared the thought pattern of someone who doesn't feel worthy, but can you share the thought pattern of someone who does feel worthy, that is in resonance with everything that they want to create all the time?
It is a frequency of your own divinity. It is adoring and loving who you are completely and fully. It is a deep resonance in knowing. It is an internal recognition that you are the creator. And so you must feel that resonance in you. And you might start to become good at it in one area. You might be really good at creating money, or really good at connecting in relationships, perhaps, but you're not really good in healing your body, or you're not really good in something in relationships or something else. Many of you have the capacity to do it in certain areas and perhaps not in other areas. And so when you can find that frequency in which you are good at it, and vibrate with it and recognize what it is, because you might just know, well, of course I can do that. That's the energy. There's zero doubt. There's zero wondering. There's just knowing. You're not trying to do anything. It just is. And then you can apply that vibration that you might apply in a certain category of your human experience along the journey of your map to another area. And when it's not matching up, or you're just missing it by perhaps a sliver, as you were saying, then you must spiral back to the root, to the cause, to the origin of it. And so you have to find it inside of you. It's you could say an affirmation or a sentence or an absolute that it is, but if that doesn't actually ring true, if that really isn't a resonance deep within the essence and the core of your being, you can say it all you want, but it won't manifest it, because it has to be a knowing. And that knowing has to come from inside. And you have that knowing in certain areas. So find that frequency where it is working, where it is vibrating, where it is creating. And then begin to expand upon that and bring it, it's like, into the other piece. And then it might match or it might not. It might not fit like a puzzle piece in, because there's something goopy in the way. And that's where that work is needed. And yet, of course, as you were saying, you may feel discouraged because I've pulled out the goop and I've done all the work, and yet still it's not there. But that's because you have to go to the root, to the absolute time in which it was implanted energetically, through energetics within the timeline of your experience. And sometimes that timeline is in this lifetime, and sometimes you even have to go into other energies, and sometimes it's timelines that all have converged, and it's a huge piece of your process or your lesson in a particular lifetime, in which unraveling it can take an entire lifetime. And even if you don't unravel it, doesn't mean that you're a failure. It is part of your journey. And along that journey, the lessons that come from it to guide you and support you in your process, and also are teaching tools often for those that love you and are around you. And so there's no judgment in it. But you are in an accelerated process right now on the planet. And so your capacity to uproot or to accelerate those energies or karmic bundles of vibrations that are no longer in alignment with the energies you are wanting to attune to are more available to you to come back into harmonization than ever before. But you have to play with the energy. You have to tune into it and understand it and connect with it and in this intentional way. But it almost always, the kernel often comes down to the essence of worthiness and where the seeding point was that you did not feel worthy of abundance or love or health or vitality or whatever it may be. And once that kernel is recognized and you are able to give it attention, then you can open up the spaciousness for something new to evolve.
Thank you, Raphael. That is all for today.
All right. We are very glad to be here with all of you. Many blessings and much love and good day. Ah. Ow, ow. Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks so much for joining for today's call. Looks like we got to a lot of questions. Love you all so much. Have a beautiful weekend. We start the Weaving Your Magic class on Monday morning. Registration closes tomorrow night. And stay in the love, stay in the light. Don't drop into the chaos. Unplug from the TV. Get outside. And remember that you are divine. All right. Take care, guys. Thanks, Casey, so much. Bye, everybody.